very interesting to listen to your presentation this morning, because I had a young gentleman in to see me yesterday that was here to convince me that we need to get away from the word of multiculture and we need to get to the word of integration. If we don't get to the word of integration, how these communities are going to integrate, that maybe not in our time here soon, but in maybe his children's time, there will be a big issue in this region, which I thought was so important of what he was saying yesterday. And when you listen to you this morning, it just really sings that out to me. So I think this region, because of the services that we are responsible for delivering, whether we pay for them all or not, but the word integration and starting to get that drilled into our new residents is very, very important for the future. So thank you. Oh, I have one more. Mayor Morrison and Mayor McCallion. Yeah.
Chair Kolb, what you were talking about right now, I agree with you, and I think it's extremely important. And this morning I was late because I have been invited to Sheridan College to speak to 400 young black youth. And I mean, basically what we need to do is not so much look anymore at black, white, yellow, olive. We need to look at people as people.
Yeah.
And so I totally agree with you, and I think that we have to get away from so-called multicultural. Thank you.
Mayor McCallion.
Well, Mr. Chairman, you're so right, and so is Mayor Morrison. If the federal government had spent, and the provincial government, the money they spent on multiculturalism, on integration, we'd have much more integration in our communities today. They spent money to keep the groups separated, giving them money to fund their own organizations instead of giving money to integrate them. Billions of dollars were spent on multiculturalism. So that young man that's what I preach in Mississauga, is integration. And some groups are more like integration more, but I think it's up to us to integrate them. And by the way, some of the fault is on our part, that we don't make an effort to integrate them into our organizations. You know, I go to some groups and there's no representation of our diversity there. There's many organizations, the sports groups, one, for instance. You go to a sports group, and unless it's soccer's incorporated in a bit, and basketball, but when it comes to hockey, we don't have a lot of integration at all. So I think we have a role to play in inviting them and making sure they're a part of everything we do, and that's truly integration in action.
I would just, not to belabor this one issue, but the first thing I thought about it was the MOU that you're sitting on and discussing those programs of how they may be delivered in the future is where I think we could even start at.
Yeah.
Just a matter. Okay, Councillor Sprovieri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Mayor of McCallion kind of struck a little chord on me when she mentioned soccer and hockey. You know, I have to say that in Brampton we just opened the most unique recreation center, I think in Canada, 4 indoor stadium soccer facility called the Brampton Soccer Center. And the reason why we went that route is because the Springdale, which the area represents, it's a community that soccer is really, really big. Now, you say that we should work in integrating people to play hockey. Well, one of the things I found is that soccer is very affordable to play, and anyone can play. It doesn't matter what talent you have. Anyone can get out there and run around. Where I find hockey, the story is that it's very expensive to play and it's a bit more challenging. So it's only a natural progression that when people move into the community, they're looking for affordability. They're looking for sport that they can afford because they still have to establish themselves economically in a community. And as far as integration, I can speak from experience, being an immigrant myself as a child. That will happen. I see second and generation Asian people in my ward, and they're no different than you and I, except a little darker in skin. I wish I had to pay big dollars to go down south and get a bit of a tan this last week. I see some, and that's the main difference. It's just a bit of color different, but otherwise, when you get into the second and third generation, the integration happens automatically. We can't expect people just coming off the airplane or off the boat to adapt and integrate right away. That's something it's very difficult to happen. But give the generational gap, and things will happen automatically, Mr. Chairman. I don't think we have to worry about that happening at all, because nature will take its course. As I said, we're a product of our environment, we're a product of our land, and that we live in, and it will happen. So, and I'm seeing it firsthand happening because of the population that I serve in my wards. Thank you.
Councillor Mahoney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I just really am responding to Councillor Sprovieri, but I too, your presentation was well done. I mean, you made something really exciting out of something that's something very dull, and we all appreciate that very much. But it's not dull. I know it's not dull. It can be the way it has to be presented, statistics and that sort of thing. But it's going to be interesting if for those who are sitting around here in 10 years from now, as to how our community will change and how those colors will change. But I just, in responding to Councillor Sprovieri, I invite you to come and see the sports zone in Mississauga that we opened just a few months ago, and it too has a magnificent soccer facility that divides up into tiny pitches and then massive pitches, and everybody from the 4-year-old just starting out to the international soccer players are utilizing it, and it's something that we're really, really proud of. And yes, you see, it's very multicultural. But on the matter of hockey, and I've got 2 5-year-old grandsons that are really, really cute playing hockey. They're on the same team as Riot. But the Mississauga Hockey League does provide assistance both financially and in other ways to try and encourage and bring on board all cultures and nationalities to get them involved in the game. And I noticed with these 5-year-olds, their team is very, well, it's great to see girls playing with the boys, and there's no difference there. You see some pink skates, and it's great. But also more and more multinational than, say, when my boys played, which is a very long time ago. So it is encouraging to see, and our sports associations are encouraging that, with particularly the traditional North American sports. For sure the basketball, certainly maybe some of our North American kids need to get a little more into cricket, because that's a great sport too. If you can ever understand it, it's a great sport. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, thanks, Sarah, and thanks, Arvin, for the presentation. Could I have a motion to receive the presentation? All those in favor, carried. The last item on our agenda, is there any other business?